Hello, my name is Marek Krause. I'm Senior Consultant at Clico, and today I show how to configure a 2.1x authentication on the Juniper Network TX series switches. .1x is a very powerful tool to authenticate users at layer 2. We have three elements in .1x authentication. The supplicant, the software installed on the end user device. It can be Odyssey Access Client or other software built in Windows, for example. We have an authenticator, which is a layer 2 switch or VLAN access points. And then we have an authentication server. This is a radio server or internet controller. Uh, .1x authentication utilized sometimes SSL tunnels to protect our privacy. We can use a radio server to provide some information like a VLAN tags, for example. How to configure it? We need to define the radio server. It's possible under access stanza. Uh, Radio server IP address, and then secret, which is utilized to provide authentication between NAS device and network access device and radio server. In our case, it's APC123, and then we need to define the access profile. Profile.1x, pardon, not session options, but radius, and then we need to provide authentication server and IP address 10.1.25 74.20, and authentication order, which is a very important option because we need to say that we'd like to authenticate our users with radio server. That's all. Three parts: radio server with secret, authentication order, and radio server for .1x profile. Then we have to go to protocols. Edit protocols.1x. Authenticator, and my port number is GE009. Of course, interfaces. What we need? We need to define, for example, GuzVLAN. Our GuzVLAN is LAN student. We need to define some timers. Quiet period 1 second. Transmit period 1. Retries 1. What we need to define more, I think a transmit period 1. I said everything for 1 second because I don't like to wait so much time for moving from unauthenticated state to guest VLAN. And then we need to define top protocol top set protocols.1x authenticator, and then authentication profile name and the profile we defined previously in access. I think that's all. commit, and two commands will be useful for verification. We can verify how it's configured under the JWeb. It's under security.1x. This is my port. On supplicant mode, I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end. Authentication, guest VLAN, and timeouts. Okay. And radius server. Oops. Okay. And radius server. There is my radius server defined previously as IP address and a secret. So, what's next? Run show .1x interface detail. We see all parameters and the guest VLAN, but there is no carrier because my PC is unplugged. Run show pattern switching interface is down. So connect the PC to the LAN. Okay, it's up. But what happened to .1x? Because there is no supplicant at the moment, my PC was moved to guest VLAN. Wait as a VLAN student. Okay, then let's enable Ethernet on my supplicant. This is Odyssey Access client. I have prepared a profile with authentication with proper protocol set, and then we can see on a radius server that my user has been authenticated, and then there is information about the VLAN, and again verification. I was authenticated via radius and the VLAN has been configured. Of course we can verify that my PC now is a VLAN lab, which is a VLAN 75. Of course we can verify that on the JWeb monitor security.1x and port. Okay, there is an anonymous username because I'm using a tunnel. We can generate a report for that. That's information about authentications. About the configuration of the supplicant, I have a profile called test. This is a profile with a defined username, password, authentications with EAP, PAP, and in the PAP tunnel I have a MS-Chub version 2. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.